Hello, Nardath here with another Daily Flip 20. Today is going to be a quick one. Thursdays. So basically I record these the day before they come out. And then I post them when I get up in the morning. I was thinking about doing them in the morning of or posting them the evening of. I find it's just less stressful to have it done the day, and then people seem to like the consistency of getting them posted at the same time. People who are overseas get it in the afternoon. Everyone who's in North America, as soon as they wake up, they get to watch it. So if you're still watching these and you watch them all and you watch the whole thing, you're awesome. So today we're just going to be talking about bumps. But anyways, Thursdays is my Navy night. So I work my day job as a refrigeration mechanic for a residential HVAC company, and then I go and do my reserve training. Basically, we go in at the unit and we just do training, right? So basically, I train people and I get trained, and we got a certain quota of stuff that we got to do during the year. So we just, basically that's what it is. And we have an exercise this weekend. So, and then after that, I have Ultimate Frisbee from 10 to 11:30. So basically, by the time I come home, I just want to go to fucking bed. And try to sleep, because it's really hard to sleep after Ultimate, especially basically today we're going to be talking about bumps, backhand bumps, knee bumps, head bumps. There's other bumps out there. You can do chest bumps. You can do, I think I did the bicep bump. Ooh, just catch the blade there. Okay, so bumps. You can also do wall bumps, but we're not going to talk about the wall bumps and surface bumps. We're just going to talk about. I call them they're kind of like a helix aerial. So before learning bumps, I would strongly suggest learning the helix aerial. So I actually have a helix aerial tutorial on my YouTube channel. There's a playlist, tutorials, just go look for it. There's a couple of ways of doing it. But the way that I get into my bumps is if you watch my tutorial, there's two ways that I do helix aerials. I call it the helix way or the behind the 8-ball way. So behind the 8-ball way, you're kind of throwing when you're holding the handle like this, and it's not as a nice throw. So I prefer doing my bumps in the helix way. So basically you do a helix, and then when you get to the safe handle, and then you basically start in one plane, and then at one point you spin over, and then you're in this position, right? So safe handle in hand, blade against your thumb, or by handle against your thumb like this, and you're in the horizontal plane. So basically what I keep in mind is the bumps don't have to hurt. If you position, and if you do them when you hit them, when they're they're still going up. So basically you're throwing the helix aerial, the knife is going up and then down again, right? So it goes up and then it climaxes and then it comes down again. Basically, if you hit it when the knife is still going up, there's no pain at all, right? So I mean, you're just helping it. There's no downward force. It's only upward force. So when you pop it up, it tends to keep going up. If you wait till it falls back down, when you bump it, it tends to lose momentum. All right, angular momentum. That's what keeps it. That's what keeps it straight. Is the angular momentum. So you want to make sure that you're giving it a good spin, a good horizontal spin, right, nice and flat, and pretty fast, and then you're hitting it either when it's still on its rise, or at its climax when it's not moving. When it's falling down. Now, some tricks you need to do it when they're falling down, and tricks like head bumps, you almost got to catch it when it's at its apex. If you catch it on its way down, it hurts, and it is really hard to get your head underneath there as it's still rising, As for knee bumps, they are going to be on the downfall, but there's no pain when it hits when it hits your quad. you got to make sure that when you hit it with the knee bump, that your knee is nice and is flat, right? So that if you bring your knee up a little halfway, it's gonna go flying forward. If you bring it up a bit like this and you hit the knee I find is really hard. It hurts, and it'll go flying and it'll lose some angular momentum. The flatter the surface at which it hits, you know, the plumber it is, so the more level your backhand is, or your knee is, or your quad is, the better. Because the goal is to not obstruct the spin of it that much. So you're just trying to do a little tap or a little bump. If you try to cushion it and bring it up again, it loses too much momentum and then it goes flying sideways, and you won't be able to catch it in a helix aerial. So the way I like to catch it is just like a helix aerial. It's going to keep, if you do it right, it's going to keep the angular momentum, you know, of keeping in the horizontal axis, and you should be able to catch it. You should be able to catch the handle, the safe handle, in between your index and thumb, and catch it basically in a thumb chap or the end of like reverse the 8-ball, right? So you catch it like that and you can finish it, or you can continue on. Double bumps, like I said, it's really hard to do a double bump and have them hit them both on the uprise. So the second one has to be when it's falling down, and you need to make sure you have a lot of spin so that when you hit it, it's physics, it will slow down a little bit. So basically, the more the spin, the more it's going to want to keep spinning, the more it's going to want to keep that gyro effect, the more it's going to want to keep in the horizontal axis. So you got it's all about physics, trajectories, and a nice smooth flat surface to hit off. Whether it's your backhand, whether it's your forearm, your head, your knee, your hand, it's all about practice, right? Practice, and trial and error. So people ask me if I hit it with the backhand, or I hit it with the knuckle, or I hit it with my fingers. Sometimes it varies. Sometimes it's the back of the hand. I'm not always accurate. It's really hard to always hit the back of the hand. A lot of times I end up hitting the knuckles or the top of my fingers. Yeah, a lot of times it's just my knuckles, and a lot of times if you catch it on the uprise, you're barely touching it, because you don't really have to bump it when it's on the rise. All you have to do is tap it up, and it gives you that a little bit extra bump, right? So that right there, I barely touched the knife. It just kind of helped the angular momentum a bit. Anyways, let me know if it helped out. Let me know if you wanted me to do more tutorials. I've had a few people ask me to do a few tutorials, so this is technically a tutorial. I was gonna just make a quick trick tip, but I ended up making a long video out of it. So, oopsies. I gotta go eat supper now. My wife is waiting on me. So, thanks guys for watching. Again, I appreciate every single one of you. Peace.